Okay, Coach, thank you very much for the interview. Just to recap from where we finished in Hamilton now, I know it's new week, new build up, reset, refocus, and reload for the boys. Going back to Hamilton, I believe personally you were also not happy with the performance, but then always we are trying. What's your summary out of the 2 days we had in Hamilton?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be honest and open. And we were, I was disappointed. The team was disappointed. We're a we, not an I, and we know that in that game against Argentina, having set up day one well and had three strong performances, we were loose, we were scrappy, and we didn't do things that we discussed we'd do. And against the likes of Argentina, yes, they analyse us, all the rest of it, but that still shouldn't stop us doing the things we do. We know if we play the way we want to play, that doesn't matter. And you can't afford to play quarterfinals and give away the amount of ball we did, and also the amount of penalties we did. The yellow card hurt us. I would question whether that was a yellow card, but again, we still got to manage these things in the game. And that game was very winnable. It was there for us to win, and we gave it away. And that's what's disappointing, because it's not the standard we set. And we've discussed it, and this week we'll work hard as well as smart to cover off some of those areas, so that this week when we come into the game, we know that we're doing the right things. And like always with performances, we're talking just small things that make the difference. And so we don't need to be dramatic, but we just need to tweak a few things so we start building the consistency back that we set as a standard last year.
I believe losing Felipe Sauturanga in the quarterfinal left a vacuum in the team. We had lack of speed start, but this week, are you bringing in players, and then also Nanduva? Are you adding him in, as we need more speed against some fast teams?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say we lack speed. We got some very quick players. What we lost in Felipe was a real threat. He's somebody that's been on real form, and he showed that on day one. And it was a big loss to us, him coming off in that last game on day one. But we do have the players that can do it. And the great thing is we had Nanduva here in the shadows supporting the team, and so he fits in and adds that pace. We've brought in Tavita Tagunu, who hasn't been in the squad for a while, but he's just been recovering from injury. But he's a good leader, he works well on the field, and he's a good communicator, text, hence why he was in the position he was in last year. So we're happy with where we're at there. I think for us it's about being able to play at the pace we know we can play with the speed of the players. We've got to play to what we have, and we've got that in the team. And against Argentina we didn't use that. But certainly this week we'll be using all of it.
It's pretty easier pool than what we had last weekend. I believe we got Japan, Tonga, and France, all winnable games. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's one of those funny ones, isn't it? Last week we had three real tough games. This week you could argue there's two medium games, and then we know what France are like. We keep playing them. They seem to be the team we meet all the time. But it doesn't matter. We take every game the same, and we take every opposition with the same focus and the same mentality. We can't afford to go out and rest on the fact that on paper, yes, we should beat these teams. We've got to go out and put performances in, and we've got to build through this tournament as we look towards pushing into the top 4, top 2 at the end of it. And it's important we set that platform and that foundation right from the get-go. And it's a different format. We've got 1 game, 3 games, 1 game. It's a different management perspective for both the team and the players, and so we need to get that process right too.
And Coach, what do you reckon about, I believe, the 8th place? We are currently in 8th place. We are fighting for top 4 to direct qualify to the Olympics. Probably a lot to do this weekend in order to keep in contention for the top 4, and then later going into LA and Vancouver.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of rugby to play, and there's a lot of points to be gained in this season. And as you see, there's a lot of movement currently. There's a lot of teams who are top-rated teams that are under the pump. You saw Samoa this week have a similar situation. They won the tournament last, but then they dropped out into the bowl stages. So it kind of shows the competitiveness, and that's where consistency for us is key. Points are key, and there's not a lot of points dividing a number of the teams, but we've got to maximise points. So that is a big focus for us. So that's why, hence, a top 2 finish this week is really important for us in terms of maximising those points and then we take that on to the next two tournaments.
Naka, thank you.